And we'll go back and start with the members' item, which is Councillor Kennedy.
Thank you. I'll just say a few words on this. I think the item actually speaks for itself. But I would like to say that if these proposals are allowed to go ahead, it will be disastrous for our borough and all other boroughs concerned. And leave the Bugle gates open for all sorts of speculation and unrest in the community. And we would soon see Barnet becoming an eyesore. I think us as councillors on the plan, our main reason for being on the plan is we really want our boroughs to be policed properly with the planning rules that are going into the rules that are given for the people of Barnet to vote on. And when they have their own way of coming and speaking about how they want their extensions and how the people are objecting to extensions, they all have their own way of having their say. Well, this will take away the say from them and from us as a council. And I think most of these, I think what they're saying now is that they really don't want the council to have any rough planning at all. They want to take it away completely, and I think this is going to be a disaster.
Councillor Gordon.
Thank you, Chairman. Well, I'd like to say that I completely endorse what Councillor Campbell has said. We've all sat, all those of us who sit on the area planning committees and so on, we've been faced with dreadful applications at times, which we've turned down. And we have enough trouble when the inspectorate, that lovely government quango, comes along and says, oh yes, it's lovely, it can go ahead. We've fought these battles so many times and we've tried so hard to prevent monstrosities. Sometimes we've been successful and sometimes we've not. But to further dilute our powers as a local council, I think it would be diabolical. And I agree with Councillor Campbell, it must be resisted all the way along the line. Our residents voted for us to represent them, not the government legislation.
Quite.
I think there are a number of issues, Madam Chairman. The first one, the government saying the local authorities are very slow in determining applications, they might take that over. Of course, there are precedents for that. I can remember in 2002 there was a real risk that Mr. John Prescott was going to take over Barnet's planning function because we inherited a situation where there was a dire mess and we had to bring in Stuart Murray from the centre to sort it out. So I can understand that. But I think the suggestion that extensions could be twice as large as they are now is very unwise. We do know that these cause huge aggravation to neighbours. Now, if you allow if one of these larger extensions is allowed, then of course it's there forever and a day. And so you do blight the neighbours' properties forever. And I think that would be very wrong. This is very much open to consultation. Boroughs such as Richmond, Conservative controlled Richmond under Lord True, made it quite clear what their line is. And I believe that we should follow people like True and support him rather than say, well, isn't George Osborne wonderful? Because sometimes you can get things wrong.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I agree entirely with what's been said so far about Councillor Campbell's members' item. The 6 to 8 metre extensions, and just the one call, I must admit, from an elderly lady who said the man next door said he was going to build an 8 metre extension. She was very upset. And we've had a report of the Times recently just to cover another aspect of Councillor Campbell's motion or members' item. And it said that there's thousands of hectares of green belt being bought up by developers, so we wonder why the butter of the hint lives on. That would be a disaster for us, and this is mentioned in the amendment, or in the members' item, because the very first policy of our recently agreed core strategy and development management policies, CS1 and DM1, enhance and emphasise the status of the green belt and the openness of Barnet. On the September 6th statement, which has caused all this problem, I'm sure, Secretary of State said, as always, he said that where green belt is considered in reviewing or drawing of local plans, we will support councils to move quickly through the process by prioritising local plan applications. And then he goes on to say, there is considerable previously developed land in many greenbelt areas which could be put to more productive use. That's worrying a lot of people, including all councils in Richmond and Sutton and all, who could be put to more productive use. We encourage councils to make best use of this land whilst protecting the openness, etc. So that's the worry. And then, as for the 6 to 8 metre extension, he said, I am announcing today a further package of simplification measures to remove red tape and ease the burden on local authorities. Well, you could have given us a burden. We will consult shortly on an increase of permitted development rights, and that's where we get the 6 to 8 metre extensions from. Now, you know, the people that were in Richmond were very creative. On Tuesday evening, there was a few Tuesdays ago, the leader there said, Dick Stewart said, I have already asked the Chief Executive to consider what the Council might do in responding to this, and he refers to it later on as poor legislation. Now, there's a wide reaction to this, Madam Chair. The Royal Institute of Architects have said that according to a poll recently, 54% of respondents claimed plans to temporarily double permitted development rights for extensions for homes would damage the quality, etc. And they quoted Sutton and Sheep. So, you know, just to get to the business of Councillor Marshall, or the previous speakers mentioned, the business of dealing with councils who don't process great numbers of planning applications quickly. Well, with volume, lose quality. So he said that speeding up planning system for large-scale businesses, commercial projects, where developers choose the fast-track route, etc. We've all read it in the papers, but you know, it would lead to a big disruption. And we've just got our local plan on the board. Now, in all fairness to the government, they are consulting on the 6 to 8 metres, I understand. In this new bill, growth, no, they're not consulting on it, legislate. Yeah, they're not consulting. Growth infrastructure bills coming up. But I've heard from some of the panels there may be some further consultation. But councils are anxious, and people and you know, I believe that this planning committee here in Barnet is just as concerned about the environment as Richmond or Sutton. I think that we should ask either the cabinet member or the leader of the council to write a letter to the Bowles, Mr. Bowles, the planning minister, or to Mr. Pickles himself. I think we could do that. I'm sure other councils are doing it, and Sutton and Richmond are not the only ones. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I've got news for you. Developers already build the 8 metre extension to that planning commission. I'm not sure what we're doing about it. I agree with everything that's been said except Councillor Marshall's comments going back to 1990, whatever it was. I think he's either making it up or got it. I don't know that John Prescott was going to take over this council's planning department. I don't know. Anyway, Councillor Marshall, I agree with you. But what I'm disappointed about is that no initiative has come from this council, from the cabinet. Sutton and Richmond have already taken an initiative, along with other councils, to say we're going to do our best to find ways around this legislation that's ever implemented to protect our residents. But nothing but silence from this council. And I hope the debate this evening will show the cabinet members that we on this committee, I think, are pretty solid about this, and they will do something to reassure our residents that we're not going to take this line down.
Can I, sorry, just a sort of addendum to what Councillor Cohen was saying, and I'm sure you'll bear me out, Chairman. We have a chairman's meeting, which is myself, Wendy and Andreas, in between here to sort of discuss what's going on. And at our last one, which was several weeks ago, I think it was agreed that the cabinet would in fact, I'm right, aren't I? Would in fact write to Mr. Pickles on exactly this point and making these points. Whether there's been any response to that or whatever, we don't know yet, but she was definitely had every intention of doing so several weeks ago when this was first mooted. So don't think nobody's done anything.
Yeah, well, it's good to hear that. It would be nice if somebody would tell us before now that this is being done.
Well, we would have.
Well, does anyone else want to
speak?
Just I want to you, Madam Chairman, just a quick one. It's just the fact that obviously we, as members of the planning committee, time and time again, who have experienced these retrospective applications of everything else, which of course it is the creation of the actual government and everything else, and rather than actually rectify the situation, they want to create more difficulties for us, for our residents and for everybody else, by actually having a free-for-all, and irrespective of depth or size, of extensions, or whatever the case might be, uncontrollable. This is absolutely outrageous and it's not acceptable. Can you imagine what would happen if everybody else goes down there and expands things and extends things without any planning permission? The law of the jungle springs to mind. Thank you, Chair.
Well, I think we're all pretty well in agreement, I do, and I believe there's going to be a consultation in about 2 weeks. And I don't think, how all goes to that, I think we're all for this, are we?
Yeah,
Thank you.